Good Wednesday morning. It's the main event. I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and you know him as 17-year NFL veteran, 3-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys. And folks, he has recovered from Bruce Cooper taking him down yesterday, and he's super excited and happy for the cute little couple there. Cardi B, Stephon Diggs, expecting a baby. Dale's over the moon, folks. Dale Hellestrae's here, everybody.
Well, I think I need to leave early today so I can go buy them a baby gift. Baby shower gift, Steve.
Just go to, I'm sure they're registered at Target or something, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. No, I'm just waiting for that Lawler bomb to come down sometime soon. I think it's still up in space, isn't it?
That's when you know you're going to the World Series, when you call up Jordan Lawler. Just like 2023. That was our problem last year. We have that play for you coming up and everything. But obviously, Diamondbacks, what a game yesterday. It's real, folks. As Torrey said afterwards, it's real. It is now real. You can touch it. You can taste it. If it was Schlaffagen or whatever it was in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you could lick that wall. It's so close. What was that thing? She licked on the wall. They licked on the wall. No.
I'll let you.
Probably should have looked that up before I brought it up, because now it's a little weird.
Wow. So Diggs and Cardi B, maybe you should concentrate a little more on football and a little less on family.
Well, that's the problem. I had to look up because I said, is he even with the Patriots? Through 2 weeks, I don't think we've seen a highlight from him or anything. He's with the Patriots, according to my Google search I just did.
Okay.
By the way, if you type in Stephon Diggs, it's everything about the baby, nothing about football. So what does that mean? What does that say? Which means if she's pregnant, I'm just saying, do the math here.
What kind of math are we doing? Because we're not good at math.
He hasn't been concentrating on football for very long, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, well,
September 17th. Maybe she's 3 months or something. Who knows?
Well, maybe now he'll get going.
Yeah, Cardi B this morning. I mean, this is why we're almost late to air. As I was watching CBS, the morning show, CBS Mornings. My favorite person on the planet, Gayle King. God, I just love Gayle King. I can't get enough of her. It's what I watched before the show here. And Cardi B confirms exclusively to Gayle King that she's pregnant with her fourth child with Stephon Diggs. And
okay.
I've never seen Dale get so excited before, folks. Running back and forth, celebrating. Yeah.
Well, Diggs has 10 catches.
She said, go support my album because I'm a mother of 4 now. If that's not a sale job, I don't know what is. Ironically enough, don't play Cardi B songs around your children, ironically enough.
I don't know if I've heard of Cardi B.
Oh, yeah.
Are they? What's that? Not safe for work?
They're not suitable for a lot of things,
okay.
Let alone work. So there you go. Breaking news this morning, Dale. You only get that here on the program. You know what else we're going to talk about today? Not now, because we have important things. Less important things, but more locally challenged here. There's a cheating scandal going on right now in the skipping rocks competitions.
Oh my goodness!
This should not be allowed. This is disgusting that this is being allowed to happen out there. It is atrocious. Can we not have good things, Dale? Skipping rocks. The World Stone Skimming Championships has been hit with the cheating scandal.
Really?
What kind of world do we live in?
My goodness.
Several competitors were disqualified for tampering with their stones to make them more smooth and more round. This is unacceptable. This world needs to find Jesus. That's all I'm going to say. Needs to find Jesus. This is the last straw of all the horrific things happening in this world. We cannot have this.
Cheating in a rock skipping contest.
Stones must come from naturally. I've looked into this, Dale. I have read the article. I've Googled other articles on this. Stones must come from naturally occurring island slate and fit through a device called the Ring of Truth to ensure they are the right size in order to qualify for the skipping tournament. Yeah. and people were skimming these rocks, these stones, and cheating. Do you know what the Guinness World Record for longest stone skip is, Dale?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Well, again, issue number 2 with the world, because this should be common knowledge taught in schools today.
What I wonder is that to win, is it the most skips or how far it goes?
Distance before it sinks.
Okay.
400 feet, by the way.
400 feet.
Well, it's just under 400 feet. Yeah. Doogie Isaacs of Scotland set that record.
I know Doogie. Doogie and I broke bread before.
Yeah, and he's skipping it on dirty water, by the way. I've seen the footage of him doing it. Do they not have clean water in Scotland?
Oh, maybe rocks skip further on dirty water.
It stays afloat longer.
Yeah.
Maybe it's maybe the Loch Ness Monster's a little messy in the water, if you know what I mean, out there. But those are the 2 things just telling us just there's beautiful in this world, and then there's just ugliness. Cardi B, Stephon Diggs, baby, cheating in the World Stone Skimming Championships. I just don't know if I want to continue living in a world where you cheat in this.
No.
What do you win? That's one thing I don't know.
That's what I'm wondering. Say what the prize money is.
Is it worth it? Is it worth it to cheat?
Is it worth tarnishing your name?
Because your family's name.
Yeah.
Well, people cheat in those bass fishing competitions. They put weights in the fish and stuff like that to get more to. But that's because you can win more money at that point, right?
I know that you win money in those fishing contests.
My favorite part of this is if you do a Google search on this, World Stone Skimming Championships, September 6th, 2025 is when all this went down, folks. Just last week as well.
Wow.
My favorite thing is all the headlines. Rock in a hard place. I heard some sort of variation of that stuff out there, yeah. So the stone skimming contest in Scotland infiltrated by cheaters. Cheaters! Who wakes up and says, I'm not good enough to skip rocks
with the best of them,
so I'm going to cheat to do so.
Oh.
Who wakes up and does that? Probably Scottish people. Am I right? Irish people? Am I right? So
Do
Dale,
Scottish people not like Irish people?
I don't know. I was raised to hate them, but I don't know.
Oh, were you? Yeah. A lot of hate in your household.
We have a sign up. Scottish need not be here. Stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah. So the event took place on the Isle of Easdale. It has a population of 61. It's on the west coast of Scotland, Dale.
Okay.
So the BBC reported that more than 2,200 people attended this year's event. 27 different countries showed up here. 27 different countries. Strict entrance rules, but it's kind of a loose event once the entrance rules are followed and stuff like that. Stones are selected by participants, and they must come, as I said, from a naturally occurring island slate. No more than 3 inches in diameter, Dale. They have to measure their stones out there.
Okay.
Now there's been some cheating there. The skimming supremo, he's referred to as the toss master. He said there was a little bit of stone doctoring happening here. I wish I could do a Scottish accent. That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a little bit of stone doctoring. I don't know. Sorry, I tried. They had shaped it so it was perfectly circular and fitted our 3-inch measurer. As it's a piece of metal, I don't think we can blame it too much, meaning the circular fitted thing is a piece of metal, right? So you have to do it. The problem was we just didn't notice at the time that they were suspiciously circular. What do they do? Go to the bottom of the lake to see how circular they are afterwards? Oh, that went far. We better go check that one. Somebody dive down there and find that metal right there. Yes. There's a guy that managed to skim his 3 stones 177 meters. He's the first ever American winner, Dale.
And they're accusing him of cheating?
Wouldn't that be great? This event's been going on since 1983, folks. It's a fixture on this island, was brought back, took a hiatus from the island, and then 14 years later, it came back to the island. It's everything new. It brings in about 15,000 pounds. Of course, goes to local charities for the 61 people and stuff like that. He is not accused of cheating. Other people are cheating. But I'm just going to stop doing sports talk if we're going to have cheaters and such pristine things. Like, we already have to deal with NBA refs. We always have to deal with NFL refs cheating, Major League Baseball refs not knowing the rules and not knowing strike zones. We have to know all of this in sports. There was one thing still pure in this world. Babies, stone skipping. And now stone skipping's out. I just don't know if we can continue in life knowing this, Dale.
My question to you is, how bored were you to go looking for stone skipping?
This article.
Where on earth did you find it?
This article came to me. It was sent to me. And I went, ooh, that's intriguing. What's up with that? And then I went through this rabbit hole. That's what happens when there's no sports on a Tuesday night, by the way, other than the Diamondbacks. A lot of free time. What are you talking about? Is 98.7 giving you the information you need to know today? They're talking about Perdomo being an MVP candidate out there. They're talking about that stuff. They're probably railing on, Kyler Murray and how terrible he is as a quarterback or whatever. Stuff we could all talk about 1,000 times in our lives. Not getting you the pertinent information out there, Dale. So we bring to you here at the main event. What'd you bring for the show today, Dale?
I think I left all mine here yesterday when I debated Bruce Cooper out of this building.
We got good feedback on that, man. Several people either on Twitter, text line, a couple DM'd me, a few people DM'd me as well saying, that was great. That was great. I think at one point you can just see me lean back and just watching you guys go at it. We're going to need a referee next week.
There'll be
maybe
more
police
now
presence.
When he says silly things.
The weird part was I agreed with Bruce more than I agreed with you. Of course, that happens every day here on the program.
Well, he went to Westwood.
Oh, did he? I think I heard that. Yeah, my sister went to Westwood, so I don't hate Westwood. Go Warriors. Go Warriors.
Dawson and Westwood, I heard they had the same teaching core.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and make fun of Westwood, and I'll tell you why my sister went there. Go ahead and make fun of it for a little bit.
I know when I was growing up, it was a football powerhouse.
It was. They won the championship. Yeah. My sister went there. Whatever. I don't remember what year. 89, 86. I don't know. But yeah.
Your sister's older than you?
6 years older than me.
Okay.
Yep. But she went there. My sister's hard of hearing, so she went there because they had a deaf program and stuff like that. So she got bussed over there and everything and whatnot. So that's why she went. I just wanted you to make fun of the school, and then I knock that out. Then I throw that at you and make you feel bad. It was a good school back then, and like you said, it was a powerhouse.
Yeah. Got a great football field right now. Crooked numbers.
I don't get it. I don't get the numbers. I haven't seen it anywhere else, and it is annoying.
It's unique, Steve. It's okay to be unique.
It's annoying. You know what? Sometimes you should just do what everybody else does. There's a reason it's done that way, Dale. I mean, Mesa was a powerhouse when I went to high school, and before that, of course, and then it's fallen off on the hard times lately.
Yep.
Now they're getting all these California kids transferring over from a school over there that was forced to not play. Woo!
Oh, is that where they decided to go?
Yeah, Mesa, yeah. Richard Oper put a story out, I think, last week, saying that they were calling a lot of schools here in the Valley, and a couple said, like, we told them we weren't interested. And Mesa, where they go. Yeah, and I think Mesa has a brand new head coach this year, too. How would you like to do that? You're going to school at Mesa. You've gone through the off season as a kid, as a student, and then a school that has to shut down their football program in California. Guess why? And all of a sudden the head coach goes, "Yeah, we'll take you all in here. Just come on over for How would that make you feel as a student at Mesa High School?
Well, I heard there's going to be some questions about whether they're going to be eligible here.
Well, that's issue number 2 because it's not like they just decided to transfer to come to Arizona.
Yeah.
Their school was shut down.
And they were ineligible in California for some reason. I never got the reason.
I can't remember. I've heard the reason, but I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say it because I don't know if it's public or not. I don't know if Richard or somebody put that out, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So I don't want to put it out there and then have it not be correct. But yeah, 4 of the Bishop Montgomery football players are enrolled at Mesa. 2 more expected to follow. They have to sit out. It's 10 days they have to sit out before they're eligible to play.
Okay. Well, I do know. I wonder how many calls they made before they got to Mesa.
Well, I'm looking for the title here on the deal here for Richard's article, but he flat out says in his headline, they called a couple schools said that they were calling them and they told them they weren't interested in having them transfer there.
Right.
But just like, what's high school football supposed to be about, man? Like, I get it. Nowadays, it's different. You go to powerhouses, kids transfer all the time to go to better schools, etc. I get that side of it. But you're a coach of Mesa, and you have all these kids working hard. Just what kind of faith does that put in you to your kids where you're like, yeah, we're going to bring these 6 kids in, and they're probably going to start. That's probably part of the agreement. And they're going to come over there, and then you're in that spot, and you're like, well, I've worked my butt off for you, coach, for the last however many weeks, and you just brought in a kid from out of state. I don't know. I think that's kind of slimy.
Well, you wonder, first of all, if they're any good. I remember, man, we were so excited at Saguaro back in the late 70s. We got a transfer from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Back then, all we heard about was, Ohio, Pennsylvania, just unbelievable football players.
Yeah.
And he came, and maybe we got the only kid from Pennsylvania who couldn't play football.
Well, I mean, SC, I know I'm going to start some stuff here real quick. Mike Sheehan joins us, Godstill Christian Academy head coach at 9:00. But he got at least one kid over there from back east that came in who's good, tall guy. Tall guy's performed well this year so far as a receiver.
Okay.
I mean, they're out there. Well, I mean, that's what you got to worry about. Is it can't be easy on those kids going from a school. Why? Let's put it this way: why couldn't they stay in California and go to another school?
Well, if they're ruled ineligible,
That's my point. That's my point. So for Mesa to take a chance on them, and maybe I'm just being because it's Mesa, the Jackrabbits, right? Maybe my old bias is against me, but it's I don't know. That's not the spirit of football, high school football. And we'll have to see if there's blowback on that side if they're able to come in and do that stuff. But I don't know. It's just against the spirit. What are you 4 weeks into the season now? 3-4 weeks into the season, and you're just like, yeah, come on in and play here, guys. I wonder if he made him send him film or not, because it happened quick.
It did, and that's the thing, though. Can they play?
Meaning just eligibility?
No, are they talented?
Yeah, well, that's issue number 2, right? Yeah, so, I mean, Bishop Montgomery is a really good school there in California. So I'm going to assume even if you're getting, even if you're getting the low end, the kids that didn't play very much, I have a feeling there's still going to be some talent there. But I guess that's kind of the point I'm leading to without saying it. If Mesa's willing to take a chance on 6 unknowns to come in here that were ruled ineligible, and the school was told they can't have football. It's not like these kids did something, and they're like, oh, you just individually can't play. It's the school's football program was shut down. And then Mesa goes, come on in. We'd love to have you here. I don't know, it just feels dirty.
Well, it's just weird because you're thinking you're going to move your family, or he's just moving the kid out here? Is one parent coming with all of them?
Well, I think one parent has to come along. So, yeah, just get an apartment somewhere. Ooh, let's start these rumors. Is Mesa getting him apartments? I mean, there's no money at Mesa.
I mean, that booster club.
Taking my shots at Mesa now. But in all seriousness, maybe there's more to the story, but I'm kind of disgusted by it. I mean, Can you blame a coach, though, for trying to improve his team?
The timing of it is what's so weird.
Yes. That's what I don't like. If he would have done this before the season,
In the summer, in the
fine.
spring.
It happens every day.
Yeah.
But whoever spots they're coming in to take, those kids have been there, been through the system. They might not be as good, but you've been with them, and then it's almost like you're selling your soul to get wins. I believe he's the first-year head coach at Mesa too. I could be wrong on that.
I believe I know who it is.
And it just seems dirty. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It just seems dirty.
And maybe there's more to it that we don't know. I don't. Yeah.
Well,
again,
I mean, if the kid,
it doesn't sound like the kids were at fault.
no, the program, yes. Well, that's the other side of it. You can't blame these kids coming over if they weren't involved with it. They just want to play football.
Right.
But why Arizona? Why not Vegas or something like that? There's a lot of questions I want to know.
Yes. Well, why don't you ask them?
I will when I get a chance.
I mean,
Jeremy Hathcock, by the way,
Yeah.
is their first-year coach. Yeah.
He's bounced around a little bit. He
Yeah.
was at Desert Ridge for a
Yeah,
long time.
I was trying to think of his name. Yeah, I know. I knew where he was. Yeah, he just came in January of this year as well. He's had I think he won championships there at a lower tier.
He was up at Sholo or Blue Ridge.
Blue Ridge. Yeah, that's what it was. I was thinking Sholo too, but Blue Ridge is where he won it as well. Yeah, I mean he made an appearance in the state championship game at Desert Ridge. Probably the last time Desert Ridge won. That I know of, because I've seen a lot of bad Desert Ridge football over these last several years, man. On top of it, yeah. So I don't know. It just feels dirty. I could be wrong. Somebody tell me I'm wrong from that side of things.
So in other words, you're starting this wonderful Wednesday show off.
I'm getting everything negative out of the way.
After a huge victory for your Arizona Diamondbacks. Your boy with a shot to first base. It brought home the winning run.
World Series bound.
And you're going to start off with two negative stories.
A beautiful story and then two negatives.
What's the beautiful story?
Cardi B and
Oh,
Stephon Diggs having a baby.
okay. What's Cardi B's biggest hit?
WAP, probably. Kobe would know the answer to
Walk this way?
No, that's not it at all.
Walk that way?
No, that's not it either. No, that's not it either. If I played it right now, you would blush.
Oh, I would.
You'd blush.
And if you censor it, there's no
very,
words.
very adult content from Cardi B. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
In her songs. I'll tell you what. I'll give you the songs to play when you're leaving here with your windows down. Just blare it out the window and everything. So, so I don't know. We'll find out more stories on that side of it. But no, we have to get that stuff out of the way, of course, because the big news: your Arizona Diamondbacks.
I told you.
A week and a half ago, you're like, who cares? It's football season. Okay, how do you know? Now, they play at 12:40 today. Brandon Pfaadt's on the mound. Justin Verlander's pitching for the Giants. Old man Verlander.
Okay, before you get into that.
Yep.
I have not. These are Cardi B hits.
I knew you were going to do it.
Bodak Yellow.
Okay.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, look at the lyrics.
I like it.
Okay, look at the lyrics.
Please me, Steve.
Look at the lyrics.
Money.
Okay.
I think I've heard of this song, WAP.
Yeah, no, I told you. I told you WAP. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at the lyrics.
Up, be careful, girls like you and rumors.
Look at the lyrics. Read the lyrics.
I think I danced a couple of those.
Yeah,
songs.
you probably like WAP.
Yeah. WAP, WAP, WAP.
You probably like WAP.
Yeah.
Kobe, what do you think? Dale like WAP over there? He says 50-50. Wait till you find out what that means. Go ahead, Dale. Go ahead and start listening to that.
Yeah, I think we'll just let
Just
that hang.
plug your headphones into your phone so
Yeah.
only you can hear it because we can't play it on air. And we'll just watch Dale's reaction to the lyrics as he's listening to a Cardi B song. She's very adult. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Very mature.
Adult.
Okay.
They play her stuff on the radio too, and And then you listen to it's all censored, and you listen to the real song, and you're like, what was that?
Even you?
I'm not a prude, and even I'm like, oh, this is getting a little. With my daughter in the back seat.
Oh,
I'm all trying to change. No, I'm just kidding with you. I don't do that. So Verlander fought today. But how bad is it going for the Giants? I found last night I'm watching the game, and I have the MLB package, so I can tune into the Giants broadcast. I can tune into the Diamondbacks broadcast. And I love Bob Brenly. I mean, I love Bob Brenly. I'm not fond of the TV broadcast other than Bob Brenly. It just so I often listen to the radio broadcast locks. I like those guys over there for the Diamondbacks, and then I'll tune into the opposing side, just see what they say. And I found the clip that tells you how it's going for the Giants right now. Giants broadcasters, yesterday's game, here's what they're concerned about. I might have caught Kobe off guard.
Yeah, you can tell they're concerned.
Oh, listen. Yeah, it's coming.
Turn it off. Thank you.
That would be, ironically enough, that would be Dale listening to a Cardi B song. Turn it off. Turn it off.
5-5, bottom of the ninth, and he's worried about
And
the
he's like, turn that off. That's how annoyed he is at the way his Giants are playing right now.
Okay.
He's just like, enough of this garbage. First of all, really obnoxious music. I'm with them on that. That was loud too, right? So that's what the Giants broadcast. In that moment, they're just tired of their Giants and the way they're playing right now as well. And then, of course, just telling you guys along, just give the kid a chance. Corbin Carroll is on a third base.
Bases are loaded.
Yeah, and Carroll specifically a third here. Lawler's up to bat. Oh, let's just see what happens, Dale, from the youngsters.
Boom! It's gone. Oh.
Here comes Corbin.
It doesn't need to be gone. He did just enough with the speedster at third.
Walk-off hit for Jordan Lawler. And the
He was
Diamondbacks
trying to
win it
pull
6-5.
that.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was a planned hit. He saw the hole in the infield. He knew Corbin could outrun it, and he hit it perfectly in the spot. It doesn't get more perfect than that. I'm more offended by how much bubble gum they just wasted on the
Yeah,
on the
I mean, did
field.
someone go pick that up and put it back in the tub?
Seriously, that stuff's good. What are you doing? That stuff loses its flavor in 2 seconds. That's why you got to have so much of it. But Lawler, Dale, look at that. Give the kid a chance and look what he can do. I
I don't know whether to be more impressed with that, with the bullpen, with the you're on the bandwagon of when it doesn't mean anything. Troy Lovello and his crew find all of a sudden play better. Well, It means something now.
Okay, which is what I want to talk about. They play better. Torey Lovello teams play better with no expectations. Well, your expectations are now there. Don't believe me? Torey Lovello after the game yesterday.
Their two best pitchers came in late in the game. We built some innings, and we finally broke through there in the bottom of the ninth inning. So a lot of good things happened here today, but the bottom line is we won a game, and we could play better, and we will, but we're going to enjoy it. That, like I said last night, there's a really nice celebration in there, and I really enjoy watching them have that moment. Great fan support today, continues to grow and build and get better. We can feel their vibe, feel their energy, and it's getting real. That's what I can say. It's getting real.
Did you hear that pause?
It's getting
right
real,
before he
Steve.
said it's getting real? Uh-oh. Here comes the puckering. Here comes we have expectations again.
10 games left. A sprint to the stretch.
The Phillies have clinched their division. They beat the Dodgers last night. They've officially clinched that division. 12.5 game lead over the Mets on top of it. That's your next opponent. Dodgers should have that division clinched before the Padres. Padres will have that wild card spot clinched by the time the Diamondbacks play them, probably. Mets have an easier schedule coming up. We talked about that yesterday, but I mean, you got to give credit to Rodriguez. He struggled early in that first inning. Diamondbacks fought back in the second. Wasn't a perfect outing for him at all. Gave up those 5 earned runs in the 5 innings pitched for him. Bullpen came in, did what they needed to do. Bats did what they needed to do. 5 of 17 from runners in scorer position for the Diamondbacks. Now, I know they hit some home runs, but 3 for 5 for the Giants. Unless they were hitting home runs, they couldn't generate the offense and things like that. Giants right now look like the Diamondbacks did when they played last time, a week ago. The Giants look snake-bitten a little bit, and like the pressure was on them these last couple games, and they haven't come through and performed because of it on top of that, which it's good to see that happen to somebody else.
Yes.
Throw up the NL wildcard standings, just so everybody believes us. 6-4 in their last 10. The Diamondbacks are 1-4 in a row. 77-75. Reds and Giants are basically out of this race. They're not technically out of it, but they're out of this race now. This is the Diamondbacks and Mets battling it out. And look, you're not going to get there if you don't win. So it has to be on you to win first. And then you have to rely on the Mets because they control it right now. You have to rely on the Mets to falter some more with their kind of easy schedule coming up situation.
They got the Padres again today.
I know. Well, today they do. I know. But then after that, right, they got the Nationals and Marlins on their last 2 of their last 3 series there. So, I mean, all you can do is control yourself and win. Whether you get in or not at this point, I mean, you can't say enough about this team and the way they're playing. Just keep it in there. Don't falter and lose 12 in a row and be out of it. Just stay in this competitive. You get in, you get in. You don't. Do what you can do by winning. And they're not going to win every game. But
if they do win every game, I might hit that over that I bet back in
I think that's what we need, right?
It's like 85 or 86.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Dale's rooting for a 12-game winning streak coming up.
You're telling me we got
a 9-game winning streak. 9-game winning streak here. I mean, this is just exciting. I don't know. And here's the thing. I mean, that Lawler hit kind of says there were other plays in this game. Things are going right for the Diamondbacks right now. Which, how many times this year could we say that in a consistent manner? Like, you'd have one game where things would go right, and then it would falter again after that. And now, game after game, things are going right for the Diamondbacks, which is a serious thing in baseball because, superstitions and, things like that. And they're getting those key hits from the low end. Now, Justin Verlander, I don't know, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't watch much Giants baseball out there. I don't know. Justin Verlander can't be Justin Verlander of old. Got to be a shell of himself. He's 1-4 on this. He's 1-4, by the way. Yeah, never mind. That's away from home. He's 1-4. Yeah, he's pitched more than that. He has a 4.53 ERA.
Okay.
Away from home for him as well. For him, so he's obviously get to a bowl. In this situation. And 12:40 today. Go get it. Go get it, boys. 3-10 on the season for Verlander is, by the way. 3.94 ERA total there. But he does strike you out a lot of people. 124 strikeouts. Tied 57th in Major League Baseball.
How old is he? 42?
Yes. 1983. Justin Verlander was born in 83? Shut up. I feel like he's older than me. Been around for so long.
Well, that's 42 years old, isn't
He's 42 years old, yeah.
Yeah.
So go out there and get it. Now you need Fott to pitch. Now good news is you're at home. So Fott, struggles more on the road
What did
today.
you say his record was?
It is, according to what I just saw. Oh, I just lost it.
He's 3-10.
That's what I said. Overall, 3-10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I was doing the away from home. So on the road, 1-4 on the road, 4.53 ERA on the road for Verlander this year. Which is, he's playing on the road today, Dale. Yeah, 3-10 overall, 3.94 ERA there. So this isn't you see the name and you go, Fott, Verlander. You just need a good outing from Fott. And you need the bats to continue to hit. And you need to win as many as humanly possible to keep this rolling. It'll be fun. The more pressure you put on the Mets looking at that schedule, the Mets faltering, even if they're playing the Nationals, the Mets are going to go into every game. I can just imagine their owners just stewing in the back offices, yelling and screaming and putting more pressure on the team to go out there and perform and stuff like that. You have no expectations. You're not supposed to be in this position, Arizona Diamondbacks. You're not supposed to be here. You should have zero pressure for the rest of this season. Just go out there and play ball like you've been doing. And whatever happens, happens. But you should have no pressure on you.
I just don't want much more talk of Lovello saying it's getting real, it's getting real.
Well, that's what worries me. He saved it till the end, and he paused before he said it, and I was like, uh-oh, he recognizes them. I would have rather him not say it. I do also get annoying. Even like things are going well on Lovello, when things are going well, Lovello's a different watch in his press conference than it is when it's going badly for him and everything. And even then he goes, we didn't play perfect. It'll get better. It's not going to get better, Lovello. It is what it is. There's 10 games left in the season, my man. This is what your team is. It's not going to get better.
You played 152 games. You had 25 spring training games. Yeah, it probably is what it is.
He just keeps, he has to say it. It's like in his vocabulary. He probably like goes to Taco Bell and they screw up his order. He's like, it's okay. You're better than this, and you will get better. You will get better. And then he just walks out. Like, I just think he has to say it all the time.
They're telling me he's a little different than Steve when Steve gets his order wrong.
I actually don't say anything.
You yell, you scream,
No,
you rant, you rave.
No, I don't. I don't say anything, and I come on here and I talk about it on here. And this is my therapy, Dale.
I hear you.
So when we come on back, we'll keep it rolling. I mean, just exciting times around the baseball side, no doubt about it. Mercury played tonight, Dale.
Elimination game.
Yeah, they got to win in New York. I don't like the odds after Sunday's
so it
game
is.
by
The
them.
first two games are at the higher seeded.
No, it was in Phoenix Sunday, in New York today, back in Phoenix for game 3
They played in
if needed.
Phoenix on Sunday and lost. Where's AT? Where's AT?
They struggled in that game. They lost by what, 20 or something like that? 18 or something like that? Come on back, folks. The main event, Coach Sheehan's coming up at 9 o'clock. Come on back now. Keep it rolling. And we're back here. Main events, Wednesday edition. If you missed Bruce Cooper in here yesterday, appreciate all the feedback on that. Some positive, mostly positive, a couple negatives. Just people want Dale replaced by Bruce.
Or did they say maybe on Tuesdays at 8:30 maybe you should go?
Yeah, that's what they actually said. Why are you even in there? And I was like, I'll take the day off. I'm fine with that.
Come on. The way I even thought about that driving home yesterday. It wasn't a bad decision. Please. Come on, Bruce.
Wait, which part are you talking about? Which bad decision are you talking about?
I'm talking about Kyler Murray.
I know. Dale's driving down the road. He's doing that yelling at himself.
I mean, you can see me
That's
talking to
coming.
myself. What is Bruce talking about?
That's a video of Dale just screaming. Getting all of his comebacks in. So Mercury played tonight. Elimination game should be interesting. I don't know if I like their odds in New York after Sunday, but hey, you want to survive in the playoffs, your back's against the wall, you've got to step up at that point. They have the talent to do it. It's just, will they do it at that point? Paige Buchers wins the WNBA Rookie of the Year. She plays for the Wings out there. 5th among all players in scoring and steals. 9th in assists there as a rookie for Paige Buchers from that side. On the WNBA side. Golf side of things, did you see even the Masters has to get in on the streaming move, man?
What else are they going to show, for crying out loud?
2 hours during each of the first 2 rounds. So it's 4 hours additional coverage on Amazon Prime is what they announced. So it's going to be 2 hours of the first round, 2 additional hours of the second round. That's all they're showing. So they're showing the guys you never show before it goes to CBS, or ESPN. Because ESPN's the first 2 days,
Yes.
right? And then it goes to CBS. But
yep.
yeah, so even the Masters is taking that streaming money to do it. Yeah.
Well, maybe lower those dues a little bit.
Well, that ain't happening. Raise those hot dog prices. Maybe you won't have to take that streamers money at that point. The big thing here around college football, of course, Coach Sheehan's coming up here at the top of the hour as well. But did you see, and I don't have the audio on this because it was my fault. I messed up the video on it watching it. But Dabo Swinney's having another tough start to the season.
Yep.
And he had a Heisman Trophy candidate as a quarterback who just hasn't performed, of course, here locally as of now. And I say as of now for a reason. Not because I know anything. Let me preface this. Not because I know anything. It's just injury this year, of course, to a local kid that's planning to go there for baseball and football. But not just that, but just the constant deal here with Dabo Swinney just kind of makes you go, I don't know, right? But Dabo Swinney comes out there. They're 1-2 to start their season, and they were what, 4th ranked? Talk about ASU's fall from 11th. They were 4th ranked. Everybody had them up there. I didn't understand it. I told you guys early on, Clemson's going to be one of those teams that's going to be out of the top 25, at some point in the season and not be able to get in it. But Dabo Swinney said, quote, if they want me gone, if they're tired of winning, they can send me on their way because that's all we've done is win. That was his exact quote. Now, he even went back here. We have 4 national championships, won 2 of them. How many years ago was that now when Trevor Lawrence was there?
Huh? Trevor Lawrence is what, year 6 in the league?
It was after Kyler Murray, and Kyler's 7. But that was a long time ago, and they do a lot of losing nowadays. They just lost to Georgia Tech, of all teams. And Georgia Tech is a difficult team to play with their offense. Georgia Tech has talent on there and things like that. But if you're supposed to be a top 5 team in the country, right, how, you can't lose to them in that position and everything. Coaches that stand at a podium when they're questioned about 1 and 2, and they say things like, if you're tired of winning, then just get rid of me.
Yeah.
That gives me a very distinct vibe. He's daring them to fire him. He feels he's untouchable. And he's also delusional.
Okay, so let's look at it. I just pulled up their record, all-time record.
Just with him or all-time?
Just their all-time record,
Okay.
So we'll go back 10 years.
Yeah.
I think we've both had fun at the expense of Nebraska fans who got tired of winning 9 games.
Yes. We're Nebraska. We don't win 9 games.
We want to win 6.
We want to consistently win 6.
So a year ago they went 10-4. Year before that 9-4.
Mm-hmm.
2022 they went 11-3. 2021 10-3. 2020 10-2. 2019 14-1. And 2018 15-0.
Those were the Lawrence years.
So that's 2018 to 25. So I can't average that out, but
well, I mean, here's the problem that you've got, and you got to differentiate this. Yes, they do win a lot of football games, but he's set the standard, and he said it yesterday. You've been to 4 national championship games, won 2 of them. You tired of losing? Well, that's your standard. You just said that's your standard, and you're not getting to that standard with 4 losses. Yes, you win a lot of games on that front. You're not doing that other side of it. Your standard side of it. That's a dangerous precedent from that side. Clemson fans are spoiled?
I would be very, very careful as a Clemson fan to wish him away right now. Now, would I love to sit out and as a Clemson fan and say, hey, we've got to get into this transfer portal a little bit. I know you don't like it.
That's what I'm going to argue. Is he's playing? He's like the Cardinals were when you were in the NFL, where they were like old school. Well, we don't pay for food. We don't pay. You have to buy your own shoes. You have to buy your own pants. And the rest of the league was like, have all the food you want. We're going to feed you. We're going to give you all the clothing you need around here. And like they wouldn't do that option year, right? They wouldn't do that, that extra year on a contract.
Every first round pick was a holdout because they wanted to do something different.
Yeah, and so they did it a way it was once done. And that's what Clemson's doing now with Dabo Swinney. He's doing it like it used to be done. Sometimes you got to adapt. So, and that's a legit criticism of him, from that perspective. Yes, they win a lot of games in the ACC. But you also cannot, as a head coach, bring up your 4 championship games, 2 wins, and then say, we also win a lot of other. Well, that's your standard. If you're even bringing up that standard, I thought he was dumb to bring that up, by the way. Because you're telling everybody that's our standard here. Well, you're not getting that standard now. I don't disagree with you. You don't want to see him gone, but he needs to adapt, doesn't he? He needs to change his ways.
Well, I think that's probably could be your biggest criticism. Where they finished in the polls starting in 2015. They finished second, they finished first, fourth, second, third, but they're still a top 20 program.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they finished 14th last year.
Yeah.
Okay, are you as a fan, are you that spoiled and you think that you can get somebody that's going to come in there and be better than that?
I'm also weary of, because this is what I don't like about Brian Kelly, and we've talked about this the last couple of days. Brian Kelly, has won both of his games, and he was really critical of the media for bringing up shortcomings on his team.
Right.
Running games lacking, et cetera. And he went off on the media, had to apologize for it on that. This is somebody after a 1-2 start for Clemson who was a top 5 team in the country to start the season. Somebody brings up how disappointing the start to the season is, and that's his reaction, is to go to that length.
Well, again, to me, when I look at it, I go, well, what led to that? He didn't. I don't think he just started his press conference with that. Somebody must have asked him a question.
Yeah, they asked him, what the program's like going 1-2. They're very critical of Dabo Swinney for the way he's running that program right now. I can tell you that.
Right.
They have been for several years because I think they got their first transfer this year, and it was like a 3-star transfer. It wasn't anybody big name or anything like that. He builds his program from the high school side, which you don't do anymore. You don't.
The powerhouses don't.
Well, that's a better way of putting it. If you want to compete for a championship, you don't do that, right? You build from the transfer portal and mix and match and things like that. So they didn't score scored touchdown in the first half when they beat Troy in week 2. Of course, they lost to LSU in week 1 in that game there. So it's just a lot of criticism around Clemson. And I agree with you. I'm not saying fire him, but there does need to be changes coming up. I'm just always weary of coaches who say things like, criticism of the program doesn't affect me. Well, then why are you ranting about it in a press conference if it doesn't affect you? If you didn't care about it, you wouldn't bring it up and defend it like you just did on top of it, right?
But if you were him, wouldn't you be proud of your body of work at Clemson?
You should be, but he got awfully defensive. Yeah. That's my point. Same thing with Brian Kelly, right? There's a way you react that way because you know there's problems. And right after a game, you're kind of emotional and all that stuff, so you react because you know it's there and you don't like it being thrown in your face even though you won. So you react negatively because it hits you at home.
I still think that's the first question out of the
I don't disagree. Yeah, after a victory.
Yes,
Normally, hey, Coach, how you feel after the victory?
I know it's a question that had to be asked, but I don't know if that's how you lead off a victorious press conference.
It's just hard to go, criticism doesn't affect me, and then you do an 8-minute rant on how much you've won and, how they can fire you if they don't like how much you've won and stuff like that. He's feeling the pressure there. There's no doubt about it. Same with Brian Kelly. He's feeling the pressure on his running game and the things that were pointed out to him or whatever. That's all I'm pointing out here. It's their 1-2, disappointing start to the season, and that's your reaction? What? They're feeling it, man. It's an amazing thing to watch. That's all I'm pointing out. Criticism doesn't affect me. Let me tell you for the next 8 minutes. If they want me gone, they're tired of winning, they can send me on their way because all I do is win. So if you're tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? Yeah, Coach. Criticism doesn't affect you at all. Way to prove it to us.
Every time I think of Clemson, I think of the way they come into the stadium
with the bus.
The bus, and then the 45-degree angle down the hill.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, I am so surprised nobody's busted a knee or an ankle or
blown out a calf. Walking down that thing.
Walking down that thing.
The thing that cracks me up about that bus is the amount of people that don't realize they get dressed, they warm up, and then they get on the bus and come around the corner. Like some people are just like, they have to be bussed in from their locker room. It does crack me up, even to this day. It cracks me up. It's an interesting way to go in, but I think there's any way, he's got to adjust to the times. And there's I hate to say this, but it's kind of like the Diamondbacks. You're either used to 500 baseball with an occasional blip up, World Series run occasionally if things fall in your way, etc. With your guy, you're either good with that and you're willing to put up with that because that's good enough for you, or you think you can get better. Now, it's going to be hard to get better than Dabo Sweeney, no doubt, or Dabo Sweeney, no doubt about that. But at some point, you got to make that decision going forward, like Nebraska did. Nebraska didn't make the wrong decision by who was that at that time? That was
Solich, wasn't it?
It was Solich. That wasn't a bad decision to move on. There were issues there where they didn't think Solich wasn't going to get you to that next level. It's just to go backwards like they didn't stay backwards was kind of shocking.
Nebraska's not going to get to that level. Again, when you think of Nebraska and you think of powerhouse, the mid-'90s was the last time that they were relevant.
Well, that's the thing.
But see, back then, because I know guys who went to Nebraska and guys who went to Iowa and all that, and guys would turn down scholarships to Iowa and Iowa State to walk on at Nebraska. Mm-hmm. That ain't happening anymore.
No, not in today's day and age. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
not.
Yeah.
And they used to use steroids, and they used to do all this other stuff.
Yeah, like they don't still. Come on. Mm-hmm. Do they test for that in college nowadays?
I think they do.
Do they?
I don't know. My guess is they do. Obviously, not as stringent as the NFL because they're expensive.
That's what I was going to say. When was the last? Well, kids nowadays might be able to afford it. That's the difference. But when's the last time you heard of somebody getting suspended for drug taking in college?
They're all clean. Come on, Stevie.
You just said that with a straight face. I'm sorry. Say it again so I don't laugh.
Come on, Stevie.
Okay. It's just it's a fascinating thing to watch two successful coaches have freakouts after week 3. It's an interesting thing to watch out there as well.
Well, one of them won.
Well, one of them's 2-0.
Yeah.
Yes. 1-2 and 2-0, and they're at that point. It's an amazing thing to see there. I know we have Coach coming up at 9:00. We'll talk NFL when we get done with him out there, but Cardinals getting some national notice on the power rankings around. They've been ranked 17th. Some of them, like ESPN, I think, had them in the 20s and stuff like that. Everybody's moving up 4 or 5 spots here going into this weekend. And later on in the program, we're going to have a talk here on the 2-0 teams. Who's fake? Who's real? Because 78.6% of the teams that start 2-0 since 2020, that's when the playoffs expanded, 17 games. 78.6% of teams start 2-0 make the playoffs.
I'm sorry, and I know we'll get into this, but there's an 0-2 team in the power poll ahead of your Arizona Cardinals.
That's what I want to address.
Come on.
There is be it Chiefs. I get it. It's the Chiefs. But if you aren't seeing the glaring problems that the Chiefs have right now, and you're still thinking they're one of the best teams in the NFL right now, they get Worthy back. Okay, they're going to get better. I get it. They're the Chiefs. It's hard to bet against them. It's hard not to do that. That team's in trouble, folks.
I wouldn't even
right now.
I didn't even bring up the Chiefs. I'm talking about the Houston Texans.
I know that's the next one I was going to bring up.
2-0-2.
I don't even have the Texans going to the playoffs this year in my polling. And they're still ranked higher than the Cardinals.
Well, we'll get into that.
It's disgusting. Why are the Texans viewed better than the Cardinals? What have they ever done?
Well, they need a Saturday early wild card playoff game.
Somebody else can fill that spot.
Cardinals can play in that.
Somebody else can fill that spot. Come on back, folks. Second hour main event. Scottsdale Christian Academy head coach, 2-time back-to-back champion. Ooh, let's see if he flips out on us with we question his start to the season, like some of these other guys out there. Mike Sheehan's coming up next. Come on back, the main event. And we're back here, second hour main event. Wednesday, look, Tuesday's Bruce Cooper. Wednesday's Mike Sheehan. Thursday's Lou.
But every day,
Dale Hellestrae.
yes, sir.
Well, sometimes part-time Wednesdays, every once in a while. Thursdays, he's not here for a little bit. Do we have to do all those caveats in there? Hey, fresh off the 56-14 victory over Glendale Preparatory Academy. Coach Mike Sheehan joins us every Wednesday. Here we go. Let's go.
There he is. It's still on. It's back up just a little. There you go. There you go.
Oh man.
All right, so we're going to start off this way, Mike, because there've been a couple notable coaches who've lost it on the media this past week in college. The LSU coach and Dabo Sweeney says, "You want to fire me? Go ahead and fire me," and whatever. So we're gonna try and get you riled up. Why do you guys keep running the score up on people, man? I mean, it's high school football. Be nice.
Stop. See, you are trying to get me riled up.
The number one question on Twitter, Coach, by the way. Yeah.
Oh man, Twitter was a fun one yesterday, right? Like everybody just woke up and chose violence, and I'm just sitting here going to practice. Obviously, you guys chose violence today too. I don't think we're running it up on anybody. I think the boys are playing well, and we try to sub in, sub out pretty quick, and we have a decent amount of depth, so it helps. It helps. So
no,
that's
obviously teasing there, because I don't know if you've seen those two press conferences. I mean, Kelly down at LSU lost it on a reporter after a win, and Dabo Sweeney saying, "Hey, if you don't want to win, go ahead and really, fire me and whatever." So. All right, well, let's look back before we look forward. Obviously, a comfortable win. You come out of the game healthy, number one.
Yep, we did. We came out pretty healthy. Lots of good reps for everybody, and healthy as we can be. We got a couple guys dinged up prior that we're trying to help get back, but that just helps create depth, right?
Okay.
Now, I asked this last week, and I'm more intrigued this week again, right? So you have some seniors on this team. And you have some pertinent seniors on this team that, they've been part of the team before, so it's not like, this is their chance, right, to get on there. But obviously Everett Salazar, right, you're running back there, 11 carries, 136 yards. Sean Helgeson, there, your quarterback, 8 of 12 for 164 yards. With these victories, you got to hold them back a little bit. Obviously, they want to have a superior senior year. They want to, get as many carries as they can. And things like that. I mean, second week in a row now, second question in a row on this, keeping those guys grounded and understanding the plan. What's that going like? And I'm not attacking them, by the way, saying they're going to be bad about it.
No, it's good. And I think they wrestle with that, right? So kids get used to wanting to look at their own stats and do those things and have bigger stats. But we do try to drill into them. At the end of the day, it's a team game, right? So if you look at our wide receiver position, yards per game, the most is Stefan. The most touchdowns is Dickerson. The most receptions is Murphy, and the most yards per catch is Olafson. So it's spread pretty well, and we don't need to necessarily throw a bunch right now. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like those guys aren't getting paid that much. We're trying to keep the ball on the ground a little bit more, grind the clock out a little bit, and Everett Everett put a lot of work in, right? So you got to pay him too. You try to pay everybody. It's very hard. Nathaniel Elrod missed 2 games. He still got 3 touchdowns. So it's, it's tough. I've kind of talked about it with the boys this week. It's a great question you had, because I do want to spread the ball around a little bit. We do want to get some more guys, some more touches, because we know at the end of the day, they do care about their stats as much as we try to downplay those. Of course you care about them, right? We care about stats. Is like, my stat is the win column, right? That's a big deal to me. So it's, it's one of those things where I think we just keep talking about it, and our boys are pretty grounded, and they love each other, care about each other. So sharing the wealth has been pretty decent. It's gone pretty decent so far.
Well,
Honestly.
I want to clarify one thing. When you're saying you want to pay these guys, you're saying you want to reward them, right?
Yes, hold on. Here's the clip from somebody
Yes.
that doesn't like it, of course, so it'll end up
You're
on
wanting to
Twitter.
reward them for their hard work.
Yeah, reward them with like handshakes and like high fives.
Yeah.
Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like maybe like I don't know, a good job thrown in there. That's how we pay them, right?
Okay,
You
all
get
right.
paid in at the end of the game when there's a win on the scoreboard. That's how you get paid technically.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of the scoreboard, we got to talk about this. I saw videos of it. I wasn't there on Friday night. I had a family thing I had to go do down there in Queen Creek High School and everything. All right, best. And I've been to a lot of stadiums, and best, absolute. The videos you're playing on that thing, ridiculous, man, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like it was my vision after last season to kind of do something bigger. Like obviously, like I love this school, right? And I love these boys and I love this whole entire program. So what I'm trying to do is bring more of a game day experience to the families too, right? So we can bring more to the school. And it doesn't just benefit football, it benefits soccer and softball plays in that field and middle school soccer, and then track is out there sometimes, and there's homecoming week where everybody's doing everything this week. So honestly, I think the scoreboard has actually exceeded my expectations. I thought it'd be super cool. It's actually way cooler than I thought it was going to be. It's pretty impressive. It's crazy what we have at this little school right now.
Hey, I'm going to compliment you here because I had a couple beers with some older SCA dads whose kids played athletics, who played who their kids played athletics, and you have single-handedly turned SCA from a basketball baseball school to a football school in about 3 years. Because SCA, the whole time I was there, my daughters were there, it was basketball, and it was then baseball and football was kind of an afterthought. Just talk about, from your perspective, how you've been able to do that.
I thank you for the compliment, first of all, Dale. I do appreciate it, and honestly, you're a huge part of that. So just know that. I feel like I don't feel like I'm just a football coach there. I feel like I care about the school. Like I said, I used to go to all Kendall's games, right? So I'd go to all the games with you. We'd sit up there. I watched all the basketball games for all the years. My heart is at SCA, right? I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I'm all those things. And I'm full about SCA. Like I don't ever want to go anywhere else. So my thing is like I love football. I love growing men. I love SCA. So my thing is I just want to give the boys the best experience humanly possible. And it's hard to do. It's exhausting. But I also run it like a business. I feel like if you surround yourself with great guys, great coaches, like especially over the last couple of years, we've been able to build this thing with great coaching and great staff. And we've always had the kids in the program. It was just kind of getting them out and getting them to buy into football. And I think as football coaches, a lot of the times, I'm going to go off on a little tangent right now. So I appreciate this question, but I think as football coaches, sometimes, you feel like you need to be a grinder. You got to be a tough guy, or you got to do this, that, and the other with the kids to get them to do all this. And I think this era of young men is so different. You've got to make things fun. You got to make things constantly competition. So we're competing all day in practice. I'm trying to do things for them. We got a new field last year. We got a new scoreboard this year. We added black jerseys this year. I did the helmets different this year. Like it's exhausting, and it's not necessarily stuff I want to do, but I think it's stuff that like help these boys want to be there. And it helps the basketball kids come out and play football. It helps the baseball kids come out and play football. I think just running it like a business, but also loving football, being a believer, being at SCA, and having a lot of love for SCA. I think that's what kind of does it. It's kind of the perfect storm for me because I love it. The kids are amazing. All the families are awesome. So we might as well just try to build this thing as big as humanly possible. If that's a long answer, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, you've definitely I've only been in, around the program for 3 years now, and I've seen a market uptick. Now, when we show up, me and Autumn show up to games, it's parents are talking like we have to go, like we don't have kids here, we're here for the coaches and stuff like that. So the program has changed. It has been a noticeable change going into it from a small school. It's kind of like a Pima would be, right, where the community comes together. That whole community just comes together, up there in Scottsdale. from that side. I bring up the kids right there. We're talking about 16, 15, 16, 17, maybe 18-year-old kids here, keeping them focused with the way you're playing right now, winning games handily and things like that. Talk to me about the coaching staff a little bit here. Sometimes coaches start to feel their oats a little bit as their players are playing well to get them out there. So talk about your coaching staff. Do you have to have conversations with them at all about keeping up the standards? It's easy to let things slip. Like, oh, we'll let that missed block go because we won, by 50 points last week.
Yeah, I think Dale, you're still on the text thread. I don't know if you silenced it yet by now, or you still kind of follow it or whatever. But it's we're a pretty grounded group. I think the coaches. Here's a good thing about STA. And people from the outside might not feel this way, or they kind of look at us in one certain way. But all these coaches do is care about the boys. Like, for instance, Coach Taylor, right? Like Coach Hellestrae's son-in-law, loves the boys, will do anything for those boys, puts more time in. Like, it makes me an emotional guy. It does, because seeing what these dudes do and what Dale did, and the heart and the love that you put into these kids. We have phenomenal coaches. But what we do is have better men doing it with love in their heart to be able to coach these guys. They happen to coach X's and O's too. Like Coach Clark is he's a buddy of mine forever. He's our defensive coordinator. He's out there, but I love him to death. And he freaking loves these kids. And he puts in so much effort and so much film. And then Coach Martin absolutely loves it. You know what I mean? We have dudes that love not only football, but are deep in their faith and love these boys. Am I answering your question? I don't even know if I am.
No, you're good.
I think Coach Jackson, who is our secondary coach, every time there's an interception, like, he takes care of these boys. Like, our coaches genuinely love the players, and the players love them back. And I think that's something you can't get in a lot of places. I almost kind of touched on it earlier. Everybody wants to be tough with guys and be a tough guy as a coach and do all these things. But if you lead with love like we do as a staff, I think it goes a lot further than anything else. So I think Coach Martin, Coach Atkins, Coach Salazar was an add this year. He's been great too. Coach Flowers, everybody that we have on staff is really caring and loving and a great coach at the same time. So we're lucky.
Are you going to give Coach Gilbreth any love, or is he?
Yeah, Coach Gilbreth. Sorry, yes, that's what I was literally going through my head.
I know. Once you start naming them, you have to name them all, Mike.
No, I know it's so hard. So thank you. Yes, like Coach Gilbreth's awesome. Obviously, he's my assistant head coach, and like, he's been awesome. He waddles out there. We make sure that I'm trying to get him in shape. He does so much for the program. But in practice, he's the guy that spots the ball in 2-minute drill and all that stuff. Oh, it's like waddling. Our 2-minute drill, the offense is at an advantage because he doesn't move that fast. But I love him to death. He's been awesome for us. He's retired now, which he's lucky, but he gets to be there a little bit more. And the love that he shows these boys. And what's cool about him is, and same thing with Dale. Like, as a coach, you try to have your finger like on everything and know what's going on. But, the relationship that these coaches are building with these kids outside of there too, they love them. They'll come tell you about something that these great conversations, like Dale had them all the time, right? You have these conversations with kids, you build these things. Like Coach Gilbreth is another one. Like, he loves these boys, right? So it's a blessing. Every single one of them we're blessed to have. And it's awesome. These kids are lucky. So's the school.
Well, you got to take off here shortly, so let's get into this week's game, man. Fountain Hill's coming up this week, 7 p.m. Did you say it's homecoming this week?
It is homecoming, so it's going to be tons of nonsense. So if you're coming, park early. And I know all the people that don't want to even hear me on this aren't coming, but if you want to come early if you want.
Most of the people that watch come to the games, I have a feeling. I know there's other ones out there. Well, you've got another one, Falcons there of Fountain Hills, starting their season 0-4 coming into this. They redid, here's my question. They redid the schedules to try to make it more competitive in the regular season for a lot of this. Is this just a byproduct of, a down year in 2A overall? Like, nobody saw Pima doing what they're doing this year, for instance, and things like that? Or what's the byproduct here going into this game and the mindset?
I kind of like the byproduct. So that's a great question about 2A. I think the tides are turning a little bit. Like, there's some teams that are becoming better. Some teams, like it's especially rural schools. I think Pima's going to be right back there at the end, right? So they have another quarterback. They haven't had that stuff. They'll get better as they go. But St. John's is a phenomenal team up there. So they're tough. And I remember in 2010, we went up there in the semifinals SCA and we got beat by them up in St. John's. They're a great football team. Coach Morgan's back up there. Freaking Santan Charter's awesome again. Like their program's great. They're big. They're huge in the weight room. Got great athletes.
Are they
out
still
there, too.
2A or did they move up to 3A?
No, they're 2A.
Oh, so they
They're
brought them back
they're-
down? Okay.
They were denied to move up to 3A.
Okay.
So I don't know why they did that, but whatever that is. But they're a great football team. I think you've got Phoenix Christian, who's 4-0 right now.
Mhm.
They're a great football team in building. So there's great coaches at these schools. And I think what you can notice is where the good coaches are. Sorry about the dog. Sonny. Sorry. Sorry about the dog. If you can hear that.
I was going to say, was that a
background.
dog?
Sonny, come here. You want to see my 9-month-old freaking lab? She's nuts.
Oh, yeah. They never settle
but,
down either. Yes.
Oh, dude, she's crazy. I'm about to. I'm not gonna do anything to her. I love my dog. But as far as Fountain Hills, we're preparing as much possible. I know they're 0-4. They're a good football team. The coaching staff's a bunch of good dudes over there. But honestly, what we're trying to do right now is concentrate on ourselves. We're competing day in and day out in our practices. Everything is offense versus defense, and if the defense loses, they got to run gassers, and that means the coaches, including on the defensive side. So we're trying to create a lot of competition.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Clark is running?
Oh, dude.
No.
It took about an hour and a half, but he ran a gasser. So we do our quick start to start practice. And so we do 3 series. So we start full speed. We don't go into individual anything. We start full speed to start a practice. Warm-ups, we're game style. We do 3 series. If the offense wins 2 out of 3, the defense has got to run. If the defense wins 2 out of 3, the offense got to run, including the coaches. Offense won yesterday. It was a 4th and 15 from like the midfield, and they chunked it deep to Stephen to score to make it 2 out of 3. And Coach Clark, he got beat by everybody else, but he finished. He finished. That belly crossed the line about 10 yards before his feet did, but he got there.
All right. I know you got to leave early today. One quick question. You've always been a guy who wants to play a tough schedule that will hopefully pay off when the playoffs come around. Any concern about the competition you faced and whatever, whereas the last couple of years, they lost a couple games early in the season against good competition. Any concern there?
It's a little bit, yes, right? So I wish I don't want to say this in a negative way, right? Like I want to be challenged a little bit more than we have been.
Yeah.
Let's say that, right? So I think we've been challenged in a lot of ways because some of the teams are so good at what they do. We're just trying to take away those certain things, and maybe that's what we're working on throughout those games. So what we have to do is kind of work on certain things. Like I think Glendale Prep's a pretty good football team. I really do. I think our boys right now are fired up and feel like they're being what's the word I'm looking for? Slept on, right? They feel slept on no matter how much everybody talks about us or says how good we are. No one ever wants us to be good. So they want to talk about us like we're not. And I feel like that gives good motivation to the boys and gets them going. I don't even know if I'm tangent.
Well,
right?
I mean,
Now I'm
just to put a thing to that, that was going to be my final question. Fountain Hills this week, and I don't mean to overlook them at all, but they struggle to score some points, in their games and everything. But then after that, you got Chino Valley at Chino Valley. They're 3-1 on the season. Yep. Cortez is unfortunately having a bad year. But then you got Phoenix Christian and Camp Verde coming up as well. 3-1, 4-0 between those two teams coming up on that side. So keeping that focus leading into those games. It's kind of my leading questions into this here. Not that you're looking ahead to those games, but using that as motivation. Go with it, going into this week. This is our last game before we hit some of those teams that'll compete with us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's, and I think Fountain Hills will compete, right? It just depends on like how well we play, right? So anybody can compete with anybody in high school. It just depends on who shows up, right? But I think like you said, our schedule is not going to get easier towards the end. I think it's going to get much harder, which maybe that's going to play in our favor, right? If we drop one, sometimes that's good, right? And we've talked about it in the past. If you lose one, sometimes it's kind of one of the best things that could ever happen. Obviously, last year it was very beneficial in the year before. So, you don't necessarily want to go undefeated throughout a season. Like we're going to be challenged. I know we're going to be challenged. I know we're going to be hit in the mouth by a couple of these teams coming up. I do know that. So that's maybe instead of it was front loaded, I had to front load it the last couple of years because of like how our schedule worked. And now it's probably a little bit like more towards the back. We're going to be hit a little bit more. And I think, like you said, Chino Valley's 3-1. I think Fountain Hills is going to give us a run. And I think we just have to be prepared. And just like last year, we can't worry about anybody else but ourselves. And as long as we keep working on ourselves, it's hard to beat.
Perfect. Well, get out of here. We know you've got something else you've got to go take care of. So we'll see you next Wednesday. Good luck Friday night there at Fountain Hills homecoming night. So a lot of distractions for homecoming. Keep them focused.
That's the worst part of it, but it's the best part, right? We're here for the community and school, but man, there's way too much.
How many players are in the homecoming running here, King?
You know what? I don't even pay attention.
Oh.
That's not good. I mean, honestly, I don't no clue. I don't know who's voting. I just know that they're playing powder puff and they're doing volleyball against each other, and like that's all I know.
Well, you'll just notice at halftime when one of your players is out on the field walking out instead of
where's this kid at? Oh, he's in the thing. Yeah, then I'll find out. Exactly.
They're playing a powder puff game. They do it every year. There was one year where my daughter was playing, and Sheehan was one of the officials, and my daughter tried to put a move on somebody, and she didn't bite, so she ran her over. And evidently
I don't know if she tried to put a move or she just ran right through her. Like, hey, let's call it what it is. There was no move.
There wasn't.
There was like she tried to truck stick in flag football and powder puff, and she did. She did.
And the other girl
that must be Hillary.
And the other it was Kendall.
Oh,
actually.
Kendall. Wow. All right.
And Coach said, "Hey, you have to go apologize." And Kendall said, "Coach, there's no saying sorry in football."
And, hey, really quick, I got one question for you, Dale. Who would win in a fight now, Kendall or Hillary?
Oh, wow.
Oh, I think Kendall's always had an underlying simmering temper that like if you get her mad, oh yeah. Oh,
I know. I used to love making her mad, so that was fun. So,
it's the quiet ones you have to worry about, right, Mike?
Yeah.
That's true. But I don't know if she's that quiet. So.
All right, get out of here. We'll see you next Wednesday.
I'll talk to you.
All right, see ya. So, I mean, one thing I love about this type of stuff, Dale, is, I mean, and I don't mean to, like, demean Fountain Hills, but, he's like, they're going to compete. They don't score on points on the offensive side. Scottsdale Christian going up to it, in the focus with homecoming, things like that. I mean, I can understand the worry side of it, but coaches kind of crack you up a little bit going into games.
Well, again, I think Coach Sheehan has become more media savvy. Last year, I think between him and I, we got ourselves in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I was getting yelled at for you guys, and I was like, I'm not even doing anything.
But I think he's becoming more savvy, and no bulletin board material.
He was right on this, and yesterday was an interesting day. I had some people reach out to me. Somebody texted the text line and said, if you keep having him on the way they are, it's unfair that they're in 2A. I'm going to stop listening to your program. And I was like, whatever. Yeah, it's just. My gosh, people. I don't know. It's a different world we live in, I guess we can say, coming up. But their schedule does get harder. That's the one thing I think people are missing right now. It's easy to look at their schedule so far and say they're blowing everybody out. They're getting hard. And they're on the road. The last two are at home, but like next week, they're on the road up there at Chino Valley. That's a long drive. Good team up there, so it's going to be fascinating to see how the end of the season happens here coming up for them, more so than the beginning. It's no different than last year. They started off hard and then got easy through the middle part, and they dominated some teams, right? It's just the opposite this year, so it's going to be fascinating to watch, but I don't know how you keep kids motivated with the way they're playing right now.
Well, because you got your eye on the prize at the end and do something that really, really, really difficult to do. Reason it's never been done in the NFL.
3 in a row.
To try and get 3 in a row.
You know what? I gotta remind me to ask him. I gotta ask him how many kids were on the team 2 years ago that are still on the team this year.
Right.
That got playing time, I should say. Because obviously there's JV kids and stuff going under that. So that'd be a fascinating number to find out.
Because this has come up with my buddies. I've actually went back and looked at our team pictures of the Cowboys. I think there's 14 guys who got all 3
and that's a professional level.
And that's in a 4-year period.
And you would but 14 guys, that's not even enough to fill one side of the ball. Like, you can understand you're going to lose all the special team guys over 3 years, stuff like that. But you didn't even offensive and defensive lines and things were completely upheavaled which can affect the team, obviously, going into it. So when we come back, we'll keep it rolling. Thanks to Mike joining us every Wednesday, of course. We got the NFL talk here coming up. Well, I got a stat for you on Cardinals wide receiver targets. To further drive home, the Cardinals don't care about their wide receivers and their offense, Dale.
And what do they need to do to move ahead of the Texans in the power poll?
It's just disgusting. Chiefs and Texans. Come on back, folks, to the main event. And we're back here. Main event. Just looking, I was looking at some Cardinals stuff, and man, they got Niners this weekend, then back home Thursday night football next week against your Seattle Seahawks. I did see the the rivalry uniforms, the sandblast. I do not like them. I like the helmets. The helmets look sharp.
Okay.
I do not like the uniforms. A lot of people were wearing them at the stadium on Sunday. They, of course, had them for sale at the team shop areas and stuff like. I just don't like them. I don't like the jerseys.
Well,
I just don't.
Like I think every time a new uniform comes out, like even Mike was saying when we had him on, new helmets this year. And,
yeah, you have to do that for the kids.
Yeah, they're not coming after the 60 and 50-year-old demographic.
And SEA improved their helmets. I actually, when he debuted them on Twitter, I was like, how do I get one of those? And stuff like that. Because they look sharp. Yeah, I know. But I even looked at Ethan and I go, do you like those? And he goes, no. So at least one youngin is like, no. But a lot of old people had them on, like older people, like my age and stuff, had the jerseys on. A lot of Tillman ones sold in that, which I can get because it looks more like a military style jersey. Right. So and it kind of dawned on me like, why are there so many Tillman versions of this? It does look kind of military style. Well, that's coming up next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. Cardinals home game. Oh, it's terrible driving across town. And then Friday night, ASU after that. Thursday night, Friday night.
Yeah, but you have the whole weekend off this weekend, so get extra sleep.
And then I'll have all next weekend off too, Thursday and Friday next week.
You're going to be grumpy on next Friday, aren't you?
Yeah, because not getting home till 11 or midnight from that ASU.
You're going to be grumpy.
Or from that Cardinals game. Seahawks. If they win, I'll be in a better mood than if they lose.
Why don't you just stay here halfway?
It's true. Flop down. Don't put that idea in my head. That's an excellent point. From that side. Of course, Cardinals, a lot of talk about their wide receivers. They don't have a wide receiver too. Cardinals prefer tight ends in the running game as their offensive style here. To me, I'm going to call it an antiquated offensive system because it's not necessarily a negative thing I'm calling it that. It's just when you look around the NFL, it's quarterbacks throwing the balls around, running second. Tight ends are kind of second. Yes, guys will go to tight ends, right? But they're not featured in the system. Cardinals are that old school, right? Where it's all tight ends. The Jay Novacek era of tight ends where, he's an integral part of the offense. And then you have the offensive side of things there. We talked about it's just a realization. And here's the stat I saw. Fantasy points data. So I look at what I do is I'm watching the All-22 right now from last week, getting some ideas out there. Marvin Harrison, the thing about this offense, and I don't know, I'm going to have to do some stuff with Dale here to get a guy that's looked at NFL film in that setting more than I have. Like I can just do it from my side and outside coaches have kind of helped me, but an NFL guy. Marvin Harrison Jr. gets open a lot, but he's on the backside of the play. Where Kyler Murray doesn't look that way. He's obviously not the designated guy. And he's open to where he can throw the ball on the backside. So Kyler Murray gets the snaps, looking left, looks middle, looks back left, and throws the ball. But Marvin Harrison will be on the right side, running around. And he looks open. The defender's off him a little bit. It's just the backside, though, of that play. And everybody, of course, is going, Kyler Murray's missing an open Marvin Harrison Jr. on the backside. But it's obviously not in the design of the play, or Kyler Murray would look there first.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when the backside receiver gets open on those types of plays. Otherwise, they're not always open from there. But fantasy points data, which does fantasy points, who to draft in fantasy, etc. Cardinals target their wide receivers at the lowest rate in the NFL. 39%. They target their wide receivers. The second lowest team, by the way, the Steelers. 42%. Steelers run that antiquated style offense as well, right? Running power game tight ends, short passes to the receivers, etc. To the running backs, those types of plays. So Steelers are similar old school type of an offense, right? But they're 42% more targeting receivers. Tight ends are the highest weight in the NFL where the tight ends are targeted. 41%. Again, second highest, Steelers, 32%. I have complained about the Steelers offense for years now, about how slow it is, how old it is. Holy crap, Dale. We have got a Steelers-style offense here at the Arizona Cardinals in a league where the offenses are more open, the offenses are more throw the ball around. We've turned into the Steelers.
Well, I just pulled up the Cardinal stats for the first 2 games, and if you look at targets, Ray McBride's been targeted 16 times.
Okay.
Marvin Harrison, 11.
Okay. Is that number 2?
He's number 2.
Okay.
The third most targeted guy, Trey Benson, at 7.
Okay.
And then you have Michael Wilson has 6. And then Elijah Higgins
Elijah Higgins was just last game, right?
Yeah, has 5. And James Conner has 5. Zay Jones, another wide receiver, has 1 target.
I'd say if he has more than 1, I'd be shocked because I remember the 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Greg Dortch has 2 targets.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems like it's very unbalanced towards the big guys.
Yeah, it's we've known it, we've talked about it, and then you start seeing these stats come out about it.
Right.
Again, offensive coordinator, quarterback issue. Because Kyler haters say, they're protecting Kyler because he can't make these types of throws. And then, like I said, watch the L22. Watch what some people are putting out on Twitter. And they'll literally say, Kyler's missing the open receiver. But it's on the backside of Kyler. Now, should Kyler be looking that way? We don't know that stuff. But I suspect if Kyler's getting the snap and never looking to his backside, that's never in the play. It's where your progressions are, right? You don't look left, go all the way right, and then go back left again. You progress across the field to get to that side and things like that. I don't know, man. I'm just leaning more towards not that Drew Penzing's a bad offensive coordinator. It's a stale, unimaginative offense. Draw your own conclusion from that.
My thing is, we're not in the meetings.
Yes.
Obviously, we're not in the huddle. So you don't know what the design of the play is. But usually if a quarterback backs out and he's looking to his right, they have route combinations.
Yes.
Usually at least 2, sometimes 3 receivers will be middle to right.
Yes. You have options.
But now, again, when you look at, a defense, Kyler Murray's up there. He's reading the defense. Well, Marvin Harrison's over to the left, and he's in single coverage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a different thing. But now,
which is what it is.
But now, if they're kicking a safety over the top of him, saying, "Hey, we're going to take him away," well, then yes, everything's going to be over to the right. And what's so misleading about he's wide open? Well, once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, going to the other side of the field, everybody starts running.
Well, I mean, wide open is, he's got a free release and he can go 5 yards before a defender is in his area. But like you said, by that point, Murray's already deciding he's throwing the ball to the tight end or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is a dink and dunk offense. It's designed to be a dink and dunk offense. And I think that's the detriment of it. You're not going to get explosive plays unless somebody breaks a play. Cardinals receivers, when they catch the ball, including the tight ends, when they catch them, they're tackled immediately. There's no yards after catch.
Very few yards
whatsoever.
After catch.
But the big plays come from the running backs who break some plays, either on a pass or on a running play. It's just the more you look into this, because it's like, all right, it's not a negative. Like, Steelers have had a lot of success with that type of offense. They can't go next level with that offense.
Yeah, but their team is built around defense, and then offense is secondary. The other thing I want to point out, because I thought I heard and read in the offseason and training camp that they're going to start moving Marvin Harrison around more.
Not at all. It is the most stiff. They line up, and you know exactly what's coming.
Because just for you people who either don't pay attention, don't care, or don't understand, when you're stationary as a wide receiver, I can come up as a cornerback and press you, meaning I can be a yard and a half from you.
Yes.
And as soon as the ball snaps, I can jam you, throw you off your route, and all that. Whereas if I send you in motion, Now as a defensive back, I'm running with you. I'm 3 to 4 yards off the line of scrimmage. You get more of a free release than when you're just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people say Kyler Murray can't read defenses. The easiest way to get a quarterback to read a defense, put somebody in motion, and it tells you instantly what it is.
Because the defense has to then declare
Yes.
what they're doing.
Yeah, and just the fact of not allowing that to happen tells you something. I don't get it. They even worked on it in the preseason games of Marvin Harrison Jr. going, even if it's just you get out of your stance, you go 3 steps over, and you line up again. That simple motion tells you something.
Yeah.
And they don't even do that. It's just everybody just goes to their spot. Now the tight end will go into motion. You'll see Trey McBride go into motion across the middle and then set it up. But that's also that blocking style they got. You have it be a. I'm going to use non-football terms here because I don't necessarily know, but you have an equal offensive line at that point. You send Trey McBride or whoever tight end in motion, and then you got the strong side block there. You hand the ball off, and you're trying to get some yards, right? That's the motion they do. It's just the more you look into this, the more it's just an unimaginative, it's a stale, it's an old school offense. And in the NFL, that does not work. Look at the Steelers. Yeah, they make the playoffs every year, but like you said, their defense is generally what gets them there at that point.
It's a play calling card. I'm telling you.
Is he afraid to? Maybe it's just written really, really small. And
maybe he can't read it.
Maybe he fits more onto it. It's literally a game of this is where this guy's running. This is where this guy's running. This is what's coming here. And we could tell it in the stands, you can tell it on the other. They get paid to look out for that stuff, right? None of the Marvin Harrison route trees are out. I've been looking for those on somebody to scout those. And then we talked about this. Marvin Harrison Jr. with Bruce yesterday, Bruce Cooper. I brought up the fact that, in my opinion, from what I've seen on the field, Marvin Harrison Jr., when things go bad for him, he checks out of the game. That might be harsh, but he doesn't focus as much. The key point on that is, right, he doesn't high point that ball in the end zone. Should have been an easy touchdown. Lets it come to his body. Laziness, no effort. The ball gets knocked down, whatever. Then a ball hits him in the hands, hits him in the face mask, goes over his helmet, not paying attention. He's not being targeted anymore at that point as mistakes are happening. He doesn't necessarily have bad body language out there because I watched that. But he checks out of games if he's not involved. And, the easiest thing to do is catch a ball with nobody around you and hit you in the hands. Receivers do that 1,000 times in their life a day, just casually. And if you're dropping a ball in those situations because you're not focused. And I feel like you run into that. So much too, Drew Penzing yesterday came out in his press conference and he said he wants to make sure Marvin Harrison Jr. gets his looks on the offense. The quote is, "That's going to be on me for play calling and trying to make sure he's early in the progression," unquote. Which goes to the point I made earlier in this. This is the reason why I went and started looking at this yesterday. Drew Penzing just admitted Marvin Harrison Jr. is not early in the progressions. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not your number one receiver on a lot of these plays. He's the 3rd or 4th progression. Why? Why did you draft a receiver number 4 and then not have him be one of your first? That's fine. Have Trey McBride be the first one, but he better be your second one. Why is he not the first guy or one of the top guys you're looking at on every play ran?
That does not make a whole lot of sense. That would concern me if I'm Jonathan Gannon. If I'm the guy the general manager, who'd you meet this week?
Monty Ossenfort. We sit in front of his mom is such a beautiful lady, man. She's an amazing person. Okay. We met his dad this week. Okay. Yeah.
You got a little Steve McCollum.
He's got the football dad mindset. It's great to watch. Just fantastic. They travel here to the games and everything, and see him. We sit by him. That's why.
They ever have beers out to you or anything?
No, they never give us anything.
You ever asked for anything?
No.
Why not?
No.
Hey, you got a couple extra hot dogs in there?
I'm getting in their social circle first. Still. Just kidding. I did say this though. I did say. I was like, man, it's got to be different, right, to watch it. Because, like, if, your son's in charge of putting this team together and everything, and if it goes bad, he's unemployed. And it's so public too.
Yes.
It's got to be a different viewing point, right? They obviously are proud of him no matter what happens and stuff like that. But it's just got to be a different way to. You're rooting for the players for different reasons. Let's put it that way, right?
Well,
I would think so.
And the successes and the failures hit different.
That's what I'm getting at. Yeah,
It's family.
yeah. It's my favorite thing is some relief pitcher's kid was at a game and he pitched terribly and a lot of hits, gave up a lot of runs, and the mom told him afterwards. I remember where I read this, and the mom told him afterwards, "Well, at least you pitch bad. We get to stay in our home because usually when your dad pitches bad, we have to move."
Yeah.
And I was like, nice, but it's just for Drew Penzing yesterday to say, I need to make sure he's early in the. We're year 2 with this cat, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're year 2 with them. And then I give you the stat, they don't look at receivers. That, I don't care what you say, and you can blame Kyler Murray all you want on being late on some throws and things like that. Your OC just said we got to make sure he's early in the progression. That's not the quarterback. The quarterback's doing what the progressions are, and it doesn't include Marvin Harrison Jr. Unless Drew Penzing's just covering for Kyler Murray's, not doing what he's supposed to do. But this offense tells you that's not the case if you watch this team. This offense is running like they designed it to. And it's unexplosive. It's terrible in the red zone. And it's not progressive. This defense needs to step up. If the Cardinals are going to have success this year, it's going to ride on the defense because this offense is going to continue to be what it is. 3 points here, 3 points there, turnovers here or there, and your defense needs to survive these games. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough season.
What I'm always interested in is why wouldn't you set up formations and pass plays where Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride are on the same side?
Yeah.
Well, why not have your progress? Because again,
they'll run Zay Jones and
now-
Aaron Harrison on the same side.
Yeah, now we can't absolve the offensive line this year because Kyler Murray has been under pressure.
I agree.
So you're going to go one read, maybe 2 reads. The ball's got to come out.
Isn't that more important? You have Marvin Harrison early in your progression route tree?
I would think so. I would think so. Everything would seem to make such common sense that you wonder why it's not being done.
I think it's just the design of the offense.
And
Now, it could be they don't have faith in Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I always say, we're not on the practice field.
Yeah.
Maybe he's dropping those balls in practice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a reason because they've got to say, hey, who's our best players? Who gives us the best chance to win?
Yeah.
I've always said this. I can get along with anybody, any teammate, anybody I've coached. If you can help me win, I'll figure out a way to get along with you. But if you're a jerk and you can't play very well,
exactly. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't need you.
Yeah. Well, looking at this and looking back at it, Kyler Murray has just absolute confidence. He'll throw the ball anywhere to a tight end in the middle of that field. The hardest place to complete a ball is to a tight end in the middle of the field because you got linebackers there, you've got defensive linemen dropping back, etc. And he has zero problems throwing the ball into those situations to those guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's got more confidence in his tight end to throw the ball in those spots because he knows it's either going to be incomplete or they're going to catch it. He doesn't have that confidence on the outside. You can kind of see it out there with the route running and things like that. So it's fascinating, something to watch. I know I'm on the Drew Penzing's offense is the problem situation. And like I said, go back and watch the last drive before halftime and the first drive in the third quarter. They opened it up, and it was successful moving up and down the field for those 2 touchdowns. And then it went back to conservative. We're going to go back to this offense again. The other side of it is, right, secondary took a beating this weekend. Will Johnson, groin. The other 2 guys that I just completely forgot their names. We're waiting on their status. We're going to find out today. Nick Rallis, defensive coordinator, is doing his presser yesterday, and he said something that tells me, oh, crap. Oh, crap. Nick Rallis said defensive back Elijah Jones has been working really hard, and that he said he believes that will pay off with potential opportunity to play coming up. The quote is, I told him it's a matter of time before your number's called on, unquote. Oh, crap. His number's getting called on this weekend, Dale. We're going to be without 2 to 3 of our safeties. Then Cattell Clark went to Twitter yesterday and did some Bible verse about his opportunity. Oh, crap. I'm not knocking those guys, but you lose 3 starters in the secondary.
Yeah.
It's in an already thin room. They're backups for a reason. This is not going to be good for this secondary, which means you're going to have to get pressure on Mac Jones this weekend if he plays. I know they haven't technically ruled out what's his name now, Brock Purdy yet. But it's going to have to come from the front 7, the pressure and everything, to alleviate and help out that secondary this week. But I have a feeling we're getting some bad news. Lengthy timeouts here with some cornerbacks.
So if it is bad news, what do? You have to do one of 2 things. You either have to protect them with coverage.
Yes. More guys back.
Or
get to the quarterback.
Or you get to the quarterback and you bring more pressure.
Yeah.
If you're the Cardinals, what are you doing?
I would start the game early with pressure on the quarterback and see how that goes. If it's not working, drop everybody back and help them out. Here's the point. Garrett Williams and defensive lineman LJ Collier are going on IR with a chance to return. Jonathan Gannon just got done saying Max Melton, good news, will be back at practice today. Will Johnson will not be practicing at all this week. Groin injuries tend to linger. Doesn't mean he's out for Sunday. It just means they're going to obviously not risk it during practice week here coming up. So at least Garrett Williams is out for 4 weeks minimum going forward. The other 2, probably game time decisions and, see how they feel. Melton, if he practices, will probably play. I would early in a game, because you can come back if you mess up and you don't get the pressure on them and they score some, you're able to come back early in the game and then maybe redo it at that point. But to me, I'd rather put the pressure on, especially if it's Mac Jones. I'd rather put the pressure on them early in a game than sit back and let them dictate the game to me early. That's how I would do it.
I'm looking, their leading receiver for the 49ers is Ricky Pearsall.
Yep.
Averaging 20 yards a catch. Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. Jawan Jennings.
But Christian McCaffrey, you don't want a linebacker on him, but he catches the ball close to the line of scrimmage. You're going to have linebackers there to help out and stuff like that.
He's averaging 10 yards a catch. The first time he ever kicked, every time he catches
Scratch that then.
And then Jawan Jennings. So, obviously, Kittle's out still.
He's definitely out.
I think it's going to be fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, it changes your defense. It changes your defense if you lose 3 cornerbacks. Now, Will Johnson, even if he plays, he's going to be a shell of himself. A groin injury, potential to make it worse. And we don't know how bad it is. But if he's not practicing this week, which tells me he's probably going to miss this weekend, as if I had a guess. As a rookie and a groin, don't you just sit him and go, it's a long season?
Well, you obviously, the thing about a groin, we've talked about it like in basketball and now football.
Look at Caitlin Clark.
You hurt your groin and you can practice what you're thinking is full speed, but then all of a sudden you get in a game and you're not going full speed.
And you have to cut real quick.
Yeah, you got to cut, something like that, and now you're set back for 4 weeks.
It's week 3. He can sit for a week and reevaluate it after that. It would be my protect him for the long season. As opposed to that. Max Melton practicing is a good sign, though. So we're not losing all 3 of them. Kitchell Clark, I think, does a good job back there, as a backup, getting it forced into that role and things like that. But it's going to change the way the defense runs this weekend. On the road on top of it, so that crowd's going to be, what the crowd is there in San Francisco. But you're also going up against an offense that's not doing great out there either, even though they're winning. Stop the ASU guy, ASU and Florida guy, Purcell.
Yeah, he's a Florida guy. I don't think
he doesn't claim ASU anymore.
He claims ASU.
I wouldn't either, since I still have it just stuck in my head. Your boy, who's also out this weekend, your Washington Commanders, man.
Jane Daniels.
Okay, the NFL, we have to protect our players in the preseason. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Well, week 2, 90% of the league's out this weekend. Starters are out this weekend.
You've already lost 2 starting quarterbacks that I know of.
Burrow and
3.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3.
Purdy, Burrow, Daniels.
Yeah, and then Bills quarterback Josh Allen broke his nose. He's got to wear a guard over it now to help protect it even more going into this week. As a quarterback, though, you got to be able to see. Your eyes are watering.
Nose.
Can't see anywhere. Yeah, I mean, that's just quarterbacks, right? And then, then all the other players that are missing. Just go back to the way it was and get these bodies ready for football. You could have lost Jaden Daniels in week 1 or week 2 of the preseason, and he would have been back for the start of the season with the same injury. Now you're going to miss him for 2-3 weeks possibly? What are we doing?
I think we can scream to the heavens, and it's not ever going back.
No, I know. Fuckers. Of the, check this out, NFC West start to the season here. 7-1 to start the season. The only loss, Seahawks, and that's because they played another NFC West team to start the season here as well. This division's going to be tough. I'm not sold. Now, Rams with Matthew Stafford. I told you I picked the Rams low, but I said Rams will win this division if Matthew Stafford can stay healthy all season long.
Right.
It's still to be seen, right, from that angle and where we're looking at there. So the NFC West is going to be tough going into it, and you have to keep pace, and the Cardinals are keeping pace right now. 78.6% of the time, you're 2-0. Since 2020, you make the playoffs at that point. Bills, Bengals, Colts, Chargers, Eagles, Packers, Bucks, 49ers, Cardinals, and Rams, all 2-0 going into this season. 78% of those means 3 teams are going to miss the playoffs because there's 10 of them there.
Okay.
Which 3 missed the playoffs? To me, Bengals are going to miss the playoffs.
Yeah, well, Joe Burrow's gone. Yeah.
I don't care what that offense was terrible with Joe Burrow in there. With no protection. How bad's that going to be? From that side, Colts. Their schedule's not terrible, folks.
Danny Jones, baby.
Their schedule's not terrible, but if I had to put money on it, I would say Colts would probably lose out, and then it's either going to be 49ers or Rams. Cardinals are making the playoffs this year. I have it in stone already.
That's not what ESPN thinks.
ESPN's full of it. But 49ers, Rams. I think Niners with their injuries, they're gonna struggle as the season goes on, unless they just get super healthy at the end of the year.
And what makes you think that's gonna happen?
Yeah, isn't it hard to start the season with a ton of injuries and then not have them later on because more guys are playing longer minutes and playing differently, right, going into it. So I would say Niners would probably be out of it. And then, like I said, if Matthew Stafford goes down or something, and then the Rams I'd put in that list also. Of the 0-2 teams, 35 of 288 teams, that's 12%. I had to do the calculator 4 times because the first time I got 8%, the other 3 I got 12. So I'm confident that's 12%, but not confident enough to put money on it. Jets, Dolphins, Browns, Texans, Titans, Chiefs, Bears, Saints, and Panthers, all 0-2. Do one of these teams rebound and make the playoffs?
Oh, rebound and make the playoffs?
Well, get to the playoffs,
Yeah.
I should say. 0-2, and by rebound, I mean they get to a winning side.
Yeah, I think that obviously I'm gonna say that Kansas City is gonna find a way to get in the playoffs. I don't know if they win
In
the
that division with the Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders?
Yeah.
You really think with no receivers and Travis Kelce already doing his little attitude? I'm tired of this bleep on the sideline. You really think so? I think the Chiefs are
The
cooked.
Jets aren't.
No.
Bears aren't.
No.
Tennessee isn't.
No.
Dolphins aren't.
Cam Ward throws some beautiful balls though.
The Giants aren't. Cleveland maybe.
Shut up.
Carolina and New Orleans, no.
Cleveland's firing their coach. Not, and I thought I'd hire Stefanski tomorrow. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
He's just in a terrible situation. Do you see Shedeur Sanders isn't even running the scout team? You see those rumors are out there? Oh, those are rumors out there. He's not even running the scout team. They're like, we don't even want you out here, kid. Did you see where he turned down? He told Baltimore he didn't want to be drafted by them because he didn't want to sit behind Lamar.
I did not see that.
Yeah, so instead of sitting behind Lamar and not playing, he's sitting behind Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and not playing. And not even running the scout team. But I don't know. 0-2 teams. I mean, obviously, Chiefs or Texans are probably the two teams you're leaning. I think the Texans are missing the playoffs this year. I think second down year for them. They had that blip 2 years ago with a new head coach, talent there.
Quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they're just injury prone and things like that to hurt them. The Chiefs are going to be the most interesting one to watch. They're going to finish with a decent record. They're not falling off and winning 4 games this year.
Unless something happens to Mahomes.
That would be the caveat.
Yeah.
But they are going to, once Worthy comes back, that's going to help out that offense. But you cannot win games with Hollywood Brown being injured every game in the middle of it and having to miss a couple plays. And whoever else the other receivers are out there. And let me just say this. Chiefs wearing shirts saying free number 4 before the game. Rashee Rice could have killed innocent people on the freeway with the stunt that he pulled. To wear free number 4 shirts before the game last week, just how unlikable can you be, Chiefs? That's all I'm going to say.
Was he suspended? 6 games?
6 games. Hey, he'll be a talent when he comes back.
Yeah.
He's doing his time. You can't wear free number 4 shirts
Free Willie.
when you do what you did on the freeway. You just can't do it. And they did it. They're becoming unlikable. Chiefs are becoming unlikable, not because they're winning, because of other stuff out there as well. So hopefully he has a good life with Taylor Swift after he's retires this year. Kelsey, Mrs. Swift. Dale, we'll be back tomorrow. McCollum on Business coming up at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Uncle Lou comes in. No UFC this week, but of course we'll talk a lot of NFL as well. Dale might show up. We'll see.
They kicked me out.
He's still licking those wounds from Bruce yesterday. Go D-backs, 12:40 first pitch. Verlander fought. You get this win, man. Get this win, baby. Let's do it. Make this even more interesting. We'll see you all tomorrow, everybody. See ya.